We here. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
It's good to be here. I thought I had my book with me, but I guess I'll talk about it instead of just going through the chapters. Shame on me. You know how you put something someplace, but then when you go to get it, then you realize the day you took it out and gave it to somebody. I just pulled one of your numbers. So the conversation is, we're going to get into some. I want y'all to think today. Y'all get what I'm saying? Is I'm one of those type of people who observes probably more than you realize. I'm a people watcher. It's like people watcher by day, player by night. I gotta wake y'all up if you. But I like to watch people. And you've heard me say this before, I study the principles of love. And I'm one of those ones that when you actually learn that there's truly a pattern that brings you financial success, then you have to follow those patterns because it's already written. No one wants to work hard, at least I don't. So therefore, instead of working hard, you work smart. So when I say I observe and I'm at the trainings, being at the Tuesday night meetings has caused me to think a lot because I get to meet different individuals. And even this last week, I was blessed to sign a gentleman up, and he got in the business and he said something. He said, "Man, God put us together. This is supposed to be." So the minute you say that to me, that's like deeper than you think. I'm like, really? If God connected us, then fruit comes from that. So I'm like, all right. I said, well then, in the next 48 hours, this is what we need to do. I know I ain't heard from the person since. You know, and I'm like, see, that's not God. So the point is, I want to discuss before I get deep into what I'm going to go over, is why I wrote Schedule for Success. Is realizing that it came off of the book Who Told You You Were Broke. And y'all see it another month and a half. The next one's completed. This is a real nice little mini book. I want people to just be able to put it in their back pocket, pull it out, and read it. And it's entitled I Quit. You know, because I realized that people, there's a whole bunch of things people need to quit. If they really want to make it, they need to quit. It's like speaking with Brother Fred and his guest the other night at the meeting, I got to hear how busy someone was. And I was like, oh, you're like really busy. But it was a crowd busy. And I'm like, do she know I wrote Schedule for Success? Because I speak on that, because I've been doing this home business thing since 1997. But before then, I somehow got blessed to be able to help manage and run other successful people's lives, if you want to call it, whether it was NFL football players or entertainers, and being a business manager or whatever. I was able to get in and even see it's like, wow, most people are used to seeing a big account and then seeing that big account and then treating it like nothing's there because you still have a budget, right? But if you don't schedule yourself to succeed, you're going to sit and you're going to allow time to go by. And anything that sits, and I always give the example like the cup of water that Beverly has. If she don't drink that water and nobody comes in this room and that water sits there for 1 week, that water will still probably be gone by next Saturday's training because it will evaporate. See, we understand the laws of life and we see what happens, but yet we don't understand that God made that law and principle. But the law and principle that we have to is still based on the same law and principle. If you don't do something with what you have by keeping it stirred up, that's why they say currency. It's funny that money's called currency, but currency means movement. Have you ever thought about it? You gotta get, I check stuff out like, wow, why do they call that currency? Because it's not supposed to sit, it's supposed to move. So we do the cash flow quadrant all the time. No matter how you dress it up, on the left side of that quadrant, you have employee and business owner, right? So if a person owns 3 businesses, but none of them are leveraged, then they just own 3 businesses that when they're not there, it's not working. So if I say I own a shoe shine business, okay, great, I own a shoe shine business. But when am I actually getting paid? When I'm actually shining the shoes. Then if I also say I also own a car wash business, but when am I actually getting paid? When I'm washing cars. Then I say I own a lawn service business, but when am I actually getting paid? When I'm actually cutting the lawns. So therefore, you just made yourself busy and keeping yourself at the same level while being busy. You must add one component, and that is the leveraging part. Whatever you do, you must be able to step away, and then somebody else steps in. That's what the word says. You say it's not right for harvest and wait 4 months, but I say the fields are ripe for harvest right now. You will enter into labors, and others will enjoy while you will stop, and someone else will enter into wages or labor, and you will reap rewards from theirs. That's John. So when I started looking at this, and then I said, okay, we know the seasons. Now I want y'all to think about something because it's been really hitting me lately. We know we go spring, summer, winter, and fall, right? Human nature says take off these 2 points. It's like, oh, we got to vacate to these points. But biblically, working, you actually work during this period. You harvest during this period. And you chill, literally, during that period. So can you see, just in people's own habits, that they're already doing things backwards? So when you look at the principles of success and true understanding of building like a farmer, you're like, wait a minute. So right now, we should be out grinding the harvest. So what happens is we get into this period, winter, that we'll call it. Well, late fall and winter, I'm going to give you 3 dates that people spend the most all year and want to take the most time to get away. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. That 45-day period, you should be able to sit back, enjoy, do nothing, live it up, harvest, spend. Y'all get this? But it is only those who get to enjoy it are only those who are working during this period. So, in other words, I watch the meetings go like, oh, it's summertime now, everybody laid back. I'll tell you where that mentality comes from. School. We're still acting like we're in school. What happens when you're in school at the end of May, early June? Summer break. So we've been taught this since 5 years old, to take a summer break. So therefore, you become a senior, you get out, you go through life, you graduate, summer break happens, and everybody wants to sit back and do nothing. And it's like, wow, but if you actually go and look at the plan of the Creator, that's when we should be grinding out. So that in the winter, you have enough store up to make it through to the next season. So, am I making sense to you? See, I want, as I say it all the time, I want to create millionaires, but from this business. I know we can. I'm going to go over a blueprint that is like some people call me during the week and like, Foley, this and that. So this training is for some people who ain't here right now. That's why I be sitting there like, man, for real. You know, you're talking $1 million, brother. I don't care how somebody else believes. I know my history wasn't a lie. So if I was able to help 3 people get 3 people that got 3 people, next thing you know, $1 million plus popped into my bank account. And it was the one thing that had nothing to do with education, had nothing to do with color, had nothing to do, it had everything to do with the laws of average. The laws of what you do. There's some laws that happen. So what we do is we say, wait a minute. If I sit back and say it is because I live in this neighborhood, then I say, well, I used to live in 1915 Oliver Avenue North. So it can't be because you live in the hood. Well, it's because I'm from here. Well, I used to live in Rockford Fairground housing projects. Well, it's because you have this. No, my mother was on welfare all our lives. You kind of get what I'm saying? So people don't even realize it because they see where you are today and your lifestyle. And they automatically make the biggest mistake ever, which is what caused them not to listen to you, is they say, he's always had it that way. Williams always lived in that house. Williams always lived like that. But then when we say our struggles, well, that's because you're this type of person. It's like, no, we follow the rules. Y'all do know it's rules to life. You break the rules, you got to benefit from breaking the rules too. Everything in life has a benefit. You just may not like the benefit of it, but there's a benefit. There's rules to this game. So as we get into this, I want y'all to understand that right now we should be working our hardest ever. It's just the way it works. You know, we sit down come November 15th. If you even look at like touring, music, recording artists, movie people, they are working their bananas off right now. They are working crazy. You go look at anybody's tour schedule. You know, I'm talking to folks this last week or working on doing some stuff, and I'm like, everybody's booked. And I'm like, dang. And it's like, well, it's tour season now. This is where they all get out. So when do most records come out? Most records come out in the first quarter. They come out in the first quarter, so those guys can go work all the way because they know the whole industry shuts down the week of Thanksgiving all the way to January 15th. That's when you hear them cats like, oh, they out in St. Bart's, they out there. So Rihanna, Beyonce, Jay-Z, the country singers, y'all seen the Target sitting on the news last night or drove downtown? Them cats are working. But come Christmas time, you see them with their families. They may fly into a TV Christmas special or something. They've already made their money. You have to understand what rich people understand. You have to get in to make your money when it's time. If you're in any form of sales, real estate agents, they're out grinding right now. You cannot get time on a real estate agent's schedule right now if they're serious about it. This is their moment. If you're doing any form of outbound sales, this is your moment. Because think about it, we're in Minnesota. You really gonna go out and recruit and pass up flyers in December? You know what I mean? It's just people ain't gonna do that. So you got to be able to sit back in December and live off your residual and the momentum that you've already sparked. So as you do this, realize this. What if you recruited only 3 people per day? I've said this, but I'm going to break the numbers down for you. Because I already know when a person says, I can't get a rep, I'm like, it's not that you can't, it's you're not doing it, period. This is a law. It's not me telling you what you're doing and what you're not doing. This is a law. This law does not discriminate. Y'all hear me? This is why it's hard. When I was, no matter what, at Taco Bell, I became the training operations manager. But when I said I want to be the zone manager, bigger manager, I knew the stores, I knew everything by the back of my hand. They passed me up for that position 2 times. I'm like, what? They ever passed me up? I'm like, and here's Andrew Twinso. That's who trained me. Me, I'm good enough to train the people to be the home market manager, to get the company car. See, at that time, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work my way up. This is gonna be my success story. You know, I might end up being the CEO. You know, and then I realized I'm like, oh, no, you get discriminated on. You can't point it out. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You can't go and say y'all discriminating on me because yeah, you're at a young age and you're at a high position. But the second time, like the first guy didn't even work. So I tell him, hey, put my hat in, put my name in the hat. I want this position. I know it. I started at Taco Bell at 14 years old. $2.85 an hour. I'm gonna be the poster child for y'all. You know what I mean? It's like the story's gonna be good. Let's do this. It's like I could run that store. I mean, they could call me from another state and I would tell them what to do. And I would close the registers out and everything. I just knew it. Back of your hand. Next thing you know, I trained the last guy. I'm like, all right, training this guy. And that's when I'm like, this isn't gonna work. You know, and I ain't never been a hater. So I trained him right, because I ain't one of them gonna backfire on me. But I just knew, I told them, I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to take a leave of absence. But I just signed up to mix it. So something needs to rally your feathers. When people don't go out and do what they're supposed to do, everything's comfortable. See, something rattled my feathers because I realized even in that corporate situation, I still had a wealthy mentality. You know, I tell people, had I not went out to college in Colorado and had to ride the city bus from Cherry Creek, Colorado, I don't know. But something happened, boy, when I got on that bus and you leave your little campus lifestyle and then you're going out to the Cherry Creek Mall, you know, stock shoes and Foot Locker, but you got to go for all the multi-million-dollar homes. I never seen, besides TV, multi-million-dollar homes. One day, I hit that button, and let me on this bus. I need to walk around here. I didn't have to work or nothing. I put my clothes on. I said, I'm going, hey, how you doing? I just started come up in the front next to another locker. Come on, bro. We family, I ain't gonna bite you. You know, come on, Bertha. Marquise, Bertha's the one holding the training up. I know you online watching, but it's Bertha, man. I'm sorry, dog. Yo. So had I not seen that, meaning I'm saying I was exposed to something. Y'all get that? A lot of times you're going to be speaking to people about a better lifestyle, but they've never been exposed to anything. You have to be mindful of that. That's why you can't just be anxious to succeed. You got to be able to speak to people, but you must be listening to the people. Because if not, they will put some junk on your schedule. You got to get this. Junk on the schedule is, yeah, we'll do it this time. And then next thing you know, at the last minute, they cancel. You know what? That's junk. See, I can't get nothing. You can't get nothing out of junk. I'm not Fred Sanford. You know, you got to be mindful. Because I was exposed, when I seen a house that looked like those apartment project complexes that we lived in, I'm like, that's somebody's house. I was perplexed. See, I thought that making $200-300 a week was a lot of money. And then once I started finding out that mortgages on those bad boys were like $18,000 a month, I'm thinking $40,000 a year is a lot of money. And I'm like, okay. And don't get me wrong, $40,000 a year is some good money, you know. But it took my mindset to another level. There you go, bro. Somebody bugging me. You know, took my mind to another level. So that's, I want to speak to you, but I want you to receive it. Does that make sense? You know, I'm here. I turned down places this week to speak. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna go out of town anyway. But it's like people call you. I give them a test question. Like, well, what's your budget is? Well, we really have a budget. God told me, all right, I'm disqualified. You know, because if they had said $100, I would make. You get what I'm saying? You gotta say, no, we'll take care of you, brother. We ain't got much, but we got. But when they already tell you, you know, try to use God's word, and I'm gonna go ahead and teach my people. Stay here, you know. Don't tell me on how many books I can sell. I'm not in the book selling business. A book is nothing but a glorified business card. You know, the books are something for you to say that's the owner of our company and then run with it. Does that make sense? That's called credibility. You don't make, no matter how many TV shows or magazines, they don't send us a check. Does that make sense? We own it, no matter what they paid from this. So that's what I'm saying. Let's be mindful. Let's get in this. Let's be business owners. You know, because at the end of the day, until we realize how simple this is, then we're going to complicate it. And realize, I got this right up here. Just following the rules. I'm just going to put rules. Laws. The same thing. That's all we're doing. So the rule is, what if you were to just recruit only 3 people? Not sign up 3 people. And that don't mean just go get 3, you know, if you go to a hole in the wall and sign up 3, you know, no good for them, then you already know what the results are going to be. But what this is doing is this is getting to know 3 people a day. So you do that, and then this would mean 3 people a day, per day, times 7 days. I want you to think about this. You're a business owner, though, right? So I've always said, and it's probably documented in a lot of stuff and videos, that the one thing that's always bugged me about the home business industry is when I see people get on videos, I work just a few hours a week and I live on the beach and everything is great. And I'm like, yeah, tell them about the 40, 50 hours a week we had to work beforehand. Because before I got on my own tour bus and was going city to city doing this, y'all know that's what we're supposed to be doing right now. So it's like, I look at that and say, you know what? We're supposed to have so many reps everywhere. But I want us to look at it and say, it is only not happening because of what we didn't schedule. So that's why I say why I wrote the book is because I want our people to get a reference of what their schedule is. No matter what, I scheduled this blubber on my life. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep it real with you. When I lost 100 pounds, I scheduled that. So when I gained 80 of it back, I scheduled that. Whether consciously or subconsciously, you schedule that, right? So if you have $100 in your account or $1 in your account, consciously or subconsciously, you schedule that, right? So nobody would want it, because I've had people say, like, I just wanted to be in this situation. Of course not. We're not talking about something unfortunate. You're driving down the street, bam, somebody hits you. That's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Life does have its unfortunate circumstances. But I don't see nobody here on a respirator. I don't see nobody get paralyzed. But I can show you a paralyzed man, paralytic. I can show you his house. You get in it. 12,000 square feet, bowling lanes, elevators, and I can show you what he invented. He invented the chair for people to rise up and down in when they're paralytic. So I'm like, so at that point, you can't even give me an excuse if you're sick. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't work that way. So this would mean, and I just want us to say, what if we were doing this? 21 people per week. Think about your Tuesday night meeting, and then look at your results. If you know you spoke to 3 people in 7 days, well then yeah, odds are some of them won't come. So even me as the owner of the company, and I hear people say, oh, this is what I'm going to make happen. Now look at them like, do you actually realize what you just said to me? Because I alone understand how I do it. It was, I ate, slept, lived, and breathed that company. But then I did actually get to a point where I probably only worked 10 hours a week. And that is like a very cool thing. And you know where that 10 hours came from? An hour and a half on Tuesday night, an hour and a half on Thursday night, and then 2 hours on Saturday morning trainings, and then just during the week, something off and on, maybe lunch with somebody. That was it. It's like literally, when I say you can get to the point where you don't have to work, and I'm not talking about you being a multimillionaire. You can get to the point where you don't have to work. You just enjoying your life. You do more counseling. You do more showing people how you made it through, and that becomes a training. That becomes your guest testimony speaker on Tuesday night. Does this make sense? But I always tell people, now in the beginning I went hard. Then eventually I trained enough people to do what I did in the beginning. And I'll put it as a description. You know, William showed Nehemiah, that's where I got 3 this week from. I messed around, read Nehemiah, and so that they built the wall in 52 days. And how all of those people teamed up together to do it. And I was like, wow. I'm like, so we actually got 3 people in a week. And we didn't let all the other distractions hit us. You know, we let any distraction hit us. You know, in the corporate world, they fire you. You know that? I mean, I deal with folks in that level. You come with any excuse. You say you got car problems one time too many. They will tell you you're not committed. It's the way it works. I've seen it done. It's unfortunate too. You can even get sick on that level. And they'll tell you, well, you understand it's about the company's goals. They're like, you know, what they really have gotten you to shake your head and agree with, it's like, screw you. It's just like, no, man, I'm not healthy, dude. What is the company gonna do to get me healthy? They don't care. You've seen it in movies. So I look at this and say, what are you willing to sacrifice? Would you go through, I'm going there, what Jesus went through, if you knew that 3 days later, everything else would be great for life? I mean, you got kids spit on, you know what I'm saying? You was trying to throw some blow-ups, but you just killed them. You know what I'm saying? Every time you try to rile up, caught one. You know what I mean? So it's a matter of, I would be like, yeah, beat me down. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm gonna live. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how people want to find an excuse to quit. I said something crazy one time in a meeting, you know, and I was joking, but I said it. And I said, for $60,000 a month, if I knew I could get $60,000 a month, I would walk down West Broadway naked, go to jail, get out of jail, let everybody laugh with me, call names, do whatever, make jokes, do whatever they want to do. But after that, I got $60,000 a month. I got an email that night. No Christian will say that. I'm like, no, it was a scenario, it was a point of how you just, I'm like, nah, I mean, okay, I would do it. It's like a one-way mile. I'm gone. You know, like, look at this dude, everybody laughing, look at him. Look at him. The whole point that I want you to make is that when you go up and recruit people, sometimes they're gonna look at you like you just naked. Because you're out there, you can't bring nothing, you can't harbor nothing, you can't say nothing. You're like, you wanna make more money? You want what? Why do broke people do that? There's a reason they broke. They mastered that. Broke people can tell you everything about being broke. And have you ever noticed that they are experts on what don't work? It's like I've got to the point when people say, oh, I do it. I just tell them, so I've never done it before that way. I've always done it this way, but it may work. I will never tell you what won't work. I won't let you sway me into your vision. If I don't believe it, I just say, well, go ahead and do it. Once you do that, I'll even follow you. Because people have told me, oh, you should do the training this way. I tell you what, you go do it, master it, then we're gonna do that. You know what I mean? It's no different. Somebody, if me and Bertha are quarterbacks on the football team, I could be the starting quarterback at the time. But everybody can be saying, you need to put Bertha in. You need to play Bertha, going to the coach, William coach. Well, if I'm making it work, but all of a sudden I get hurt, that's her time to shine, right? Now, if she get in and throw an interception, she still may be a better quarterback, but she threw an interception. Boom, you missed it. Y'all see you in the Packer game. Let's just stick with the law numbers real quick. 21 people a week, 84 a month. People are doing all this extracurricular stuff. And I'm looking at them like, oh, so Hodges. If you were to get up and say, you know what? If the average person's working 9 to 5, and you believe that from 9 to 11, which is 9 to 10, 10 to 11, you could average 3 people, meaning 3 people get their numbers in a 2-hour span. If I want to say get one an hour, that may mean you spoke to 10 people an hour and got blown off by 9. But would you be willing to do it every day? For a year, that means 1,008 new prospects. So when people tell me, oh, I just can't get nobody, I'm like, well, you know what? If I call myself open the store and I put the open sign on it, won't nobody come in either. You have to let people know you're in business. You're open for business. So when we look at the other meetings at the hotel, like the one time I said, y'all walk around and look at the other meetings, it is because these people went and invited people to the meeting, but not the same people. I see we have that issue sometimes. We go to the same deadbeat group and say, oh, we got a new product now, we got to come on. It's like, no, if they were money motivated, they would have came. And then here's the humbling thing. Some people just don't want to work with you. Some people just don't want to work with me. I'm like, next. But if you have any kind of self-righteousness to yourself, self-pride, I got a little self-pride. The minute I spot a hater, I become their worst nightmare on purpose. I'm like, oh, you don't want me to succeed? Do you know that my success is based on people saying I wouldn't make it? For real. The biggest mistake my wife's mom ever said to me, she's like, I thank her all the time. I'm like, she doubted me. When you doubt me, I'm like, oh, that's like, you doubt me? You don't know me. Y'all know how you want to, you don't know me. We bought our first house. It's a little bigger than theirs, but I wasn't looking at it that way. I was looking at it that the houses in Cherry Creek, Colorado, it was nowhere as close to that. You see? So some people are looking at their little stuff and what you're getting, and you're like, I'm looking so past y'all that I didn't even notice you. I'm like, what? So, well, maintaining a house like this is just hard. And you know, if you need anything, don't ask me because that's just beyond. You got a little house, isn't that? It was like a 6-bedroom house. And I'm like, for real? And then she said, because I don't believe this stuff's going to work anyway. Oh, the truth comes out. And then I was like, oh, cool. Cool. I'm like, you know how you fight mad and a tear come down? Oh, cool. That's cool. And I'm married to a daughter. Cool. You know, but then she put that seed in my life. I'm like, what's going on? So every now and then, because they don't understand it, and I get it now, so I can teach them better. I'm sitting at home, kicking and watching TV, my appointments don't even start to 6 that evening. So I got 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I got 4 appointments that night. You know, so it appears that I'm sitting around the house kicking. You know what I mean? It's like, no, all of the people that are already scheduled for appointments don't get off work at 5. So it's like, hey, this is simple. So, you know, if you're getting $100 a rep or $50 a rep, I'm like, and you go sign up 2 of them that night, I'm like, you done made $200 that night. More than they making the day, period. So I go and I sign up my couple reps, and it's like I come in, I'm like, it's like, you know, you sitting around the house all day doing nothing, this and that. I'm like, no, all bills are paid, and I'm just like, is this really happening? But then I thought, oh, that's that seed that carries on. You'll have to be mindful that not to let a seed get in you, but others will go and sow a seed against you. So then somebody else who you're speaking to, you go to speak to them, and they're looking at you because it doesn't appear, because they don't know what success looks like. I promise you, the average person you're around does not know what true financial success looks like. They only know what working a job looks like. So anything that comes out of the ordinary of working a job, they're looking at you like, let's see how this is going to work. Am I on the same page with you? Mm-hmm. So when you realize all you're doing is playing the numbers, I mean, the numbers, a Powerball, you're playing the numbers. You go put $1 down and you get your number you won, right? You are playing the numbers. The difference is you are in control of the numbers. So with this formula, everyone can win. So I'm gonna go back over this because this is crucial if you get where this is going. All you did today is made sure you got 3 people's names, 3 new people. That means you have to, that's why a lot of times you see a strain, emotional strength. You see a strain on that. Because the system is simple. It is, bless you, it is when you have to go to a person who you don't know and strike up a conversation. And then they look at you. This happened one day. I asked him to say, hey, man, you got me over there, my money look like a top dude. You know, he looked at me like, no. And I was like, man, I wanted to just like, you know, without. I'm just like, what? I had to go in the bathroom. I was at the mall, man. I had to go in the bathroom, look in the mirror, like, I'm like, I think I'm pretty sharp. You know, I'm like, man, I'm rolled out and everything. I'm like, what's this doing? But you realize that you gotta pick yourself back up. You know what I mean? It's like, do that. Because when I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, this guy is not aware that the guy that was standing next to him talking to him is gonna make $100,000 this month. Make it, not job to pay for. That's mine. Put it in the bank, show you what you drink. You understand? That's mine. So numbers, that's all I do. There's no secret to this. I got out and I got the numbers. So this business is to be worked like a real business. Those who truly respect it, and so live a richer quality lifestyle. It's simple as that. This is not complicated at all. It's all mathematics. So what if you and your 3 people work the same system? So you know what you got if you did it. But what if you sign up your 3, they subscribe to the vision, and they went for it? That would be me 84 new prospects per week, not per month. 336 per month, and 4,032 prospects per year. You see that everything in life is numbers. Y'all get this? You go check out the theory and the psychology of it. Everything that works, these computers, this light going to the screen, it isn't that it's just a light bulb. It is some numbers they calculated to make the light project. So if this is 3,500 lumens, and that means they did something to get that strength to go. If that's a 75-watt light bulb, do y'all get what I'm saying? Everything, you know, and pans, these are Super Twill 120 rule custom pans. You get that? Numbers. I didn't know everything had a sheet count, has numbers of threads in it. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when you realize that all of this in your meat, it's numbers, calories, whatever, everything has numbers associated with it. Success is a formula of numbers. You do the plan. So it's not if the person wants to do network marketing or not. It's will they do those numbers or not. So it's like, I ask people all the time, if I can show you how to do the work to become a millionaire, will you do the work? So the work is meet 3 new people a day. Now you got your 3 people in, now get them doing it. Now you got 4,000 new prospects per year. So if a senior director signed or closed to only 12%, they would have 484 agents come in that year, not that month, that year. So you had a pool of 4,000 plus people, but only 12% of them came in. At $50 per, you still make $24,200 at minimum in bonus money. That's not the fast start 25 when you sign them up yourself. That's just bonus because it's you and your people on you. You get that? Mm-hmm. Then add this with the $1,500 per month lifestyle bonus because I know you're going to get the other 16 customers if you got to get them yourself for that $1,500. But you get that. You know, $1,500 per month lifestyle bonus and normal residual approximately $300 more. And keep in mind, senior director is on limited levels. So it's hard to even calculate that because it's not a 1 through 7. Senior directors, you do not live a 1 through 7 level business. Y'all get that? That's why you got to peak game, especially if you're at an executive level. That's crazy. That's you like boom. The bottom is so unlimited for you that you just get paid. You make a minimum of $48,800 a year. Now, that's minimum. That's minimum wage if you follow the system for you. See, I know these numbers, and my mistake, and I'll apologize, sometimes I just don't go in the numbers enough to say. I just look at people like, get your 3 people a day, you got it. I'm like, I ain't doing it. I'm like, oh, people saying this, people saying that. And broke people don't always speak up. They do. They don't shut up. They don't never shut up. It's like haters would never stop talking. Y'all get that? The problem is, if you listen to a hater, they will affect you. That's poison. You know? So, 45,000 a year. That's just a senior director. You had an executive, that's more. That's just not even almost double. Because you got to count the entire executive senior code and the entire senior code. Y'all get that? And then if a senior director breaks away, the executive is still getting a cut from the senior. So if the senior's doing that, the executive is still getting carryover. That executive is probably 100,000. But it's averaging 500 people. That's not saying you build a perfect world. So many people is like, oh, it's so hard to get that many people in to get to 5,000 a month. And I'm like, no, if you get to that level, then this number is bigger. So instead of 500 people, if you say you got 3,000 people, that's 150,000 in bonus. Y'all get what I'm saying? I'm like, so you made $200,000 a year. Then it's so crazy how this thing works. And then I'm just looking at like these numbers. You got to look at it and say, no, if I'm going to give you a job, this is why I promise you I'll never work a job. That is my promise. I ain't promise y'all nothing. I'm looking myself in that mirror. Paul Jones. I know I make $50,000 a year without a job. There's no, you get out there, everything's just numbers. When you know all you have to do is put the numbers in, then you operate on a different level of confidence. See, I already know you're successful. It's just that day that you call in sick. You got to realize that no matter what the reason is, you're not calling in sick to me, your brother Bobby. You're just calling in sick on you. You're the boss. We're the supporting cast to make this system go easy for them. We have our own system. There's not too many people can say that. I'm like, y'all tell me what you want. It's like, man, we believe we can go blow it out the frame and get 3 in a day. I'm like, I will make it easy for you to get 3 in a day if you really gonna go do it. I've had so many people where I didn't even listen to them. Like, all right, okay, I'm gonna do that for you. The next thing you know, it's like, oh man, these folks out here tripping. It's like, people don't trip regardless. They was tripping on Jesus, right? Jesus come in and spit some good game to a woman, and now they mad because all of a sudden she's like, I met a man today, and they intimidated because he drunk out the same cup. That's how they started hating. I met a man today. Like, dude. They thought they was a man, and she went and told them, I met a man today. You would get a free vacation for you and a guest. Is that a work? Can you see working is like a job now? That's why I look at folks. I'm like, and you on your way to an Escalade. But if you never got the 1,200, you still are making more than the average American citizen. And all you doing, if you had to go pay 3 people to go get 3 people for you a day, it's like, you know what, little Johnny, here a few dollars. You go get me, you dress up now, don't look slummy. Go out here and give me 3 names today, man. I had assistants. I got so big that all they did was Lady Lisa Childs, I love her to this day. Lisa would get out there, she would put the heels on, and she would work the I got nothing but respect for her. She's an awesome woman. You know, she would come in, have her numbers, call those people, they'd be at the meetings. You know, it's like, it got to the point because I was like, no, I want to go number 1. So I already had a big income. In 1 month, her and some lady named Jody Rose, they clowned so hard, I almost hit 200,000. And I was like, man, I was like, 20 stacks for you, 20 stacks for you. My wife was like, why you giving me so much money? Shut up. Sometimes you're like, woman, shut up. Add it up. We still got 110,000 left. Don't be selfish with it. You get a little money, you go in your pocket, you go. You get it? You cannot get successful without taking care of your crew. That's right. Everybody got to win. But you got to go do the numbers first. So that's why we say, let's go ahead and get that 1,500 line stop on. Let's get that Escalade. Let's get that Benz. Let's get to that level. But you'll see that with that many working, then we throw a promotion on. Your income could jump to that a month within a 90-day period. Because here's something crazy. The same way I said, you and your 3 did that, and what if them and their 3 did that? And that was it. So your top 4 levels work that system, you're a millionaire. It's that simple. I didn't even want to go get into it because I tried to put the numbers together. But if your top 4 systems, you level 1, 2, and 3, and then they got their 4 on. So that means you didn't even 5, 6, and 7, you probably didn't know that. Y'all see that, how that works? So when I hear people say, I want to be a millionaire, I'm like, well, you ain't doing nothing that looks like a millionaire. So that means you have to change everything. That's where I quit came in. You got to quit being trouble. You got to quit being broke. You got to quit letting people get on your schedule that ain't going to do nothing. Well, you understand, you waste your time. You have to just say, you know what? Right. You have to think like a CEO. If they sit there and they see a slothful area in their business, they say, this is a non-productive area, you must cut this off. And then you send the business book, you write it off. Like, I'm going to have to write you off. We're going to write you off. You're not doing that. So put your mind on this and understand the facts. Make your time on this earth count. The average American person will drive 789,000 miles in a lifetime. That's 9,100 hours commuting for work alone. They ain't got 3 people. The whole time they could be spending that time just getting 3 people a day. You know, sometimes you have supporting cash, you got family, you got friends, you got uplines that will support you. Then you can't take that for granted. You have to say, you know, I'm gonna get out here and get these 3 a day, and I'm gonna follow up with these 3 a day, and I'm gonna have 84 new people at the end of the month. Not through us. You understand that? We're playing the odds. We're saying you got a list of 84 people. That meant you probably only signed up 7 to 10 people that month. So people who don't understand it will say, yeah, but you had 80 people and how many got in? It's just like, that ain't worth my time. I'm like, you can't do math, can you? Because what is time? Numbers. The minute you think life ain't numbers, you out of here. It does. You are only a number. God may call you a vapor, but it's a number. You are just a number. You are known by your social security number. Period. You get that? Your name is not your name in a federal government system. You are a number. Your mom and dad gave you a play name and you just answer to it. But you are 445-876231. That's who you really are in this game of life. Do y'all get that? So people go through life thinking, like, I know my name ain't really Paul D. Jones. I'm a number to the powers that be. You know, if I go apply for a car loan, they ask for my name so they know how to reference me out of respect. But they ask for my real name and they say, you're social. And then, and pay attention now, they judge you on that number, not your name. You get this? So once people get it, that's why I'm like, I know I'm spitting good game. That's why I look around the room sometimes like, man, some of the same people that be calling saying, yo, I got a question. I be like, man, I swear to God, I'm not gonna waste your time, I'm not gonna waste mine. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna show you how to become a millionaire. Then after that, you're gonna call me and ask a question and say, what are the 3 people's names? And what are their phone numbers? You get an email address. The email address looks like, but in a technology world, that is some X's and some ones and some zeros. Your email address behind the scenes is code. Code is numbers. Y'all get this? You may visually look at a website. This whole thing right there, what made that color scheme fit was numbers coming together to say, this is what this combination of numbers make. I had an issue with Mako. The color of the paint on my car that was supposed to be was a number. That's how they even speak it. They messed up and put the wrong number in. So what happened? They put the wrong paint on. Now what happened? I went and paid a number to the county, and now we got another number, September 9th, at another number, 9:30 a.m. Numbers, so that they can give me some numbers back. Y'all follow me? Yeah. When you think it's just this person, that person, this is what they said, I'm like, I'm telling you, it's deeper than you're nothing but a number. If you want to get financially successful, you understand life for real. When you see the movie The Matrix, what did that thing show? Numbers. We all know this, but we act like we don't know no better. Everything is comprised, averages, numbers. You will watch 9 years of TV time, including 2 million commercials. Work 122,400 hours for the government in a lifetime. That's because you don't pay taxes, which is a number. Are y'all feeling this? This whole thing, spring, summer, winter, fall is comprised by numbers. How many days in a year? What time of the day it is? We knew by a number what time to show up here. Somebody else didn't schedule the right number, so they didn't show up here. So therefore, they will get a different number in lifetime and complain about the number they're getting. Forgive me, my goodness. Go ahead. What are you doing with your time? You got to start looking at stuff. So people invite me to stuff, and I'll be looking at them like, and that has nothing to do with my destiny. I like you personally, I really do. But I'm only going to be giving so much time with my daughter. They don't get that. She leaves me all 24. You may get me, you may not. I'm like, but what that made me do is like, man, this time flew by. I'm not fronting. To me, time is flying. Nancy said last night she's gonna be gone in a month almost. And I'm like, she's gonna be gone. Then I look at little PJ and I'm like, he's 7. And he'll correct you 7.5. And I'm like, he's gonna be here in 10 years. 11 years tops. He's gone. So when you say, come over here and spend some idle time doing nothing, you got to look at, understand my mind. So I'm like, yo, you understand what you just asked me? I only have so much time to shape him, to mold him. I only got so much time to shape her and mold her. And you said, come over here and do nothing. That mess up the destiny, mess up the inheritance, mess up everything. I'm like, then when I say, no, you do that. Well, why? I'm like, because I'd rather be with my son. That's why. I'm like, y'all feeling me?
Yeah.
When people do things and take you off, you're done. So you gotta ask, what are you doing with your business? What are you doing with your time? I don't like discussing the business, honestly. People ask me all the time, say, Paulie, can we get together and you can show me how you do the presentation? I'm like, come Tuesday night. You get it? It's like I'm in the office, y'all gotta realize that whether we sell food or not, I have to communicate with stockyards and US Foods. It's called good relationships. You know what I mean? I have to communicate with them. We still have a My Financial Service. I still communicate with the Legal Club of America. I make sure everybody, hey, we do good, everything's great. If numbers are down, they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, we fine, we good. Don't worry about us, keep on going. It's like, yeah, because people are like, yeah, it's like, we know it's numbers. So when you're working, it's like, we got plans. You know we could be in electricity right now. We got a big enough group. So that's why I'm talking about these companies in electricity. I'm like, I can have electricity, I got wireless, I got local phone service. I'm like, we could distribute cars if we wanted to. I don't know how networked I am. It's like we could be in a paper distribution business. You want paper? I can send you paper. You going, instead of going to Office Max and getting your printer paper, we can do that too. You want cards, Christmas cards and all that? That was in the system. But it's like, oh, the people aren't working the numbers. What I'm saying is, no company's better than us. Whoever's seeing in your thing, I'm paid to travel. It's like folks like, oh, the travel thing. I'm like, it's the same portal that the other travel companies use. I just don't charge you for it. They charge the people for it, and then they take that money and they pay a percentage of that money back and call it residual. And I'm like, just get on My Financial Service and fix your stuff. You know what I mean? Get your credit right, manage your budget. And if you want to go buy an airline ticket, go over there and do that. Just save the money. It's the same system. And I do certain things and be like, well, it ain't, what the boys say, it ain't the problem I can't fix. Because I can do it in the mix. Do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You understand? I put my Uncle Willie leg on you. One day y'all gonna meet his older counterpart. I just gotta tell us. I love this dude, but there's another man that I love so crazy. And when I ran into him, I'm just like, man, you remind me of Uncle Willie. I got a picture with them two together now. And it's just like, he's just an older, and y'all gotta understand, when Uncle Willie was younger, I'm like, well, you ain't that nice, because he wouldn't either. That dude that get drunk and you'll look at me like, I don't need nothing from you. I don't need nothing from nobody. And tell you, it's like, he looked at me one day and just knew. It's like, you're a millionaire, but I don't need that from you. I'm just like, all right. He's like, don't you be out there telling people you play broke. You get drunk and you play broke, boy. You hear me? Play broke. You got money, you're all coming up in there on you, and then they're gonna get mad at you when you don't give it to you. You hear what I'm telling you? Live long enough. He was right. some of the stuff I write in my books, he kind of schooled me to it. You know, and I'm like, no, he was right. Like, this is crazy. And it's like, so, y'all know his numbers, right? Mm-hmm. Did that make sense?
Yes, it is.
Good. I want y'all to just go and build this thing. We got an incredible company. We have incredible leadership. I already know how the game is won. Can't nobody do nothing out there that we can't. I mean, we're so affiliated, even if they want to be in wellness or anything like that. I know all the same companies that make the same stuff the other companies get and say this pill is so great. I'm like, I'm gonna make a $5 energy drink too. But the whole point is, it means nothing if you don't have a distribution system. People who worked the numbers. I mean, we could have the first true Christian broadcast distribution system. Tell you all this. So you know what I've been working on today. It ain't maybe a year, 2 years from now. But imagine a subscription where a person can go in and all that I don't care if it's TD Jakes, Creflo, Joyce Meyer, Joel Osteen, and like Netflix, but just for all that viewership. And then they pay you. Don't cop my stuff. It's not you know what I mean? It's like Christian movies, everything. I'm like, that doesn't exist. So I'm like, well, it takes money to do it. You understand that? It takes more to do it. So you mean you have to succeed here in this little, and then you go bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you have this other network. So I'm just telling y'all that I'm sorry, my vision is way up here, but I know I ain't got that much pride. I ain't gonna come out here and say, I need you to go with 3 people a day, and we're gonna have 21 people this week. Only 1 or 2 of them gonna get in. We're gonna be okay with it. Next week we do the same thing. Only 1 or 2 gonna get in, and we're gonna be okay. You know, then they gonna get some, and they gonna get some. Next thing, at the end of the month, we got 10, 15 people. Now, next month, somebody gonna fall off, but you kept your system going. You don't stop. Now, they did it. So next month, what happens? You got 30, 40 people. The next month, you kept your system going. Now you got 50, 60 people. Next thing you know what? End of the year, you look back, you done put in 400, 500 people. You done made $50,000, and others are sitting back there wondering how you did it. So without any further ado, I want y'all to welcome an incredible leader, businessman, friend, entrepreneur, and top everything in his company, Mr. William Lockett.
Y'all give it up for Paul Bro. Y'all doing all right? Y'all gonna stand up, stretch your legs?
Yeah.
Get some water over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Take a 2-minute recess. Some of you gotta wait till September.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started. So I hope you guys grasp the power of the concept of what Brother Paul Jones is teaching about in terms of numbers. Because it truly is a numbers game. And a lot of times people get discouraged going through the process of going through their numbers. I mean, he's given us illustrations in the past, you know, like the WD-40. If they would have got discouraged at the 13th or the 39th attempt, then we wouldn't be able to have the enjoyment of WD-40. So again, every success story goes through the same process. Everybody has to go through the process. And if you don't have the right mindset and the right heart and spirit, then you fall into the category of the 95%ers, that entrepreneur or the employee mindset versus an entrepreneur mindset. So I was having an interesting conversation last night with a business owner. You guys familiar with the Tango Sushi? Well, you know, that's the spot we like to go to on Fridays. So I'm talking with the owner, you know. It's so funny is his birthday, my birthday's on the same day. So, you know, we were just talking and, you know, just talking about passion, you know, because we're talking about, you know, being a business owner, what's necessary to be a business owner. I said, you know, it's really about your passion. You got to be passionate about it. You know, when other people will tell you it doesn't work, or other people will try to discourage you, you got to let that passion be so strong that it's a burning desire on the inside of you that has to come out. You know, so that is probably the largest thing about me, is that my passion for being an entrepreneur was always so strong that I didn't care what was going on personally in my life. I always stayed focused on my passion of being a business owner. And so I want to talk about, you know, what is your goal? So you got a pen and a piece of paper, iPad, whatever, write down what your goal is. Because in life, you have to have a target that you're shooting for. You have to have a goal that is real to you. Because if it's not, if it's something that is just a thought, and it's not a goal that is real to you, somebody else will come to you with something that sounds good. And because it sounds good, then you say, hey, you know what? I want to do that for me. Then you find yourself off on another tangent. Then somebody else will come along with something that sounds good. Then all of a sudden you find yourself on another tangent. And it's further and further away from what should have been your own personal goal. So what is your goal? Mine is to be an entrepreneur, to be successful, to be wealthy, you know, to be able to leave a legacy for my children. So it wasn't a particular type of business, because some people may be passionate about painting, you know, they're artists. So therefore, they, you know, have a skill that they're passionate about. And then as a result of them pursuing that, it may make them wealthy in the long run. Well, you know, I didn't have any athletic ability in terms of being a professional athlete, so that wasn't my passion. You know, didn't have any singing ability, so that wasn't my passion. My passion was making money.
Mm-hmm.
So I really didn't care about the particular vehicle. So I wasn't in love with any one particular type of business. I just wanted to be a business that was successful. Well, going that course allowed me to experience different things. So what I do now, I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about helping people to recover from alcohol and drugs. That is my passion. And God allowed it to become a business that is also profitable. So here I'm able to put together two things, but I didn't know what that passion was. I didn't know that I would have a passion to help people to recover from alcohol and drugs when I started out years ago, you know, just in business. So my point is that sometimes in life you have to go through to discover what it is that you're called to do. But if you just sit there and do nothing, and you believe it for something, guess what you're gonna get? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Goal setting is the true secret to success in any area of life. But although setting a goal may seem simple, achieving it is usually another question altogether. What is that? Because you will never achieve your goals unless you, one, know exactly what you want. So what do you want? Is it a new house, a new car, be able to send your children to college? What is it that you want? And I was having a conversation with my 17-year-old daughter yesterday. And she's now part of this summer program at the Children's Theater. So she went through the audition process and they selected her, but I still had to pay the money. But anyway, so she's going to this program every day, right? I mean, it's like a full-time job from 10 until 5 o'clock. She's there 5 days a week. And they have a lot of interesting, children from all over. And there's this one particular very interesting looking individual. And so she was just saying that he had earned a full ride scholarship to NYU. And that's where she wants to go. And so they was having a conversation, $63,000 a year, which I've already known. I took her on a tour, So therefore, that's no surprise to me. And like I've always told her, baby, I'm going to get you to the door. Okay, don't worry about the cost. I'm going to get you to the door, and it's on you to make sure your gifts and your talents and skills are above so that you can make it through the door. So she started saying, well, I don't think I can go. I'm like, why not? Because it costs so much. Well, now you're concerned about something that ain't your concern.
Right.
So I'm telling her, like, don't worry about that. I got that. You ain't got, hopefully she gets some type of scholarship, but you got a daddy named William. So therefore, you're all right.
Right.
And so just trying to get her to understand, don't focus, don't get distracted. Stay focused. Work on your gifts and talents. So then she tells me that they selected her to be the captain of the dance. So she, has different skill sets. And so I just want her to focus on what's important in terms of preparing herself with her education, preparing herself with her skill set. Okay? Because I realize that I got abilities. There's something I can do. I realize that, if it's a matter of me going to work harder, that's what I must do in order to afford my daughter the opportunity, to truly pursue her passion. And that's what I'm telling her about. I need to see you excited. You need to be excited. You need to be passionate about what it is that you want to do. It's not just another thing. No, this is something that drives you. This is something that gets you up in the morning about. So what is it that, you want to do with your life? Are you passionate about your goal? When I talk about the things that I do, people can feel that passion. Do they feel your passion when you talk about your lifestyle? When you talk about your business? Do they sense your passion? Or do they sense a question of doubt? I've signed up more people not even knowing what this business was about, just solely on my passion.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're talking about a time when people are looking for something to be excited about. Because they're not excited about the life that they're living. They're looking for another opportunity. So you should be that beacon of light. You should be that solution. You should be that answer to that question, what it is that they're looking for. But if you don't come with a convincing conversation and you sound sold out to it, they're not going to receive it. 3, have a solid, realistic plan of action. That is what marks the difference between numinous dream and wishes and truly achievable goals. Last Tuesday, after the meeting, the young lady that was there being comical throughout the whole presentation, went up to her afterwards and was just listening to the conversation. And she was talking about, yeah, I was just, feeling what he was saying. And yeah, I got a house like that. I got a car like that. I said, well, she said, yeah, in my dreams last night, I ate at that restaurant. I said, what we're about here is not just dreaming the dreams, but actually living the dreams. So let's not play with that, okay? That's what we're about here. It's not a matter of just, naming and claiming and not realizing. It's a matter of realizing that we have a system. We have a, opportunity to create something that truly will allow people to enjoy it in reality rather than just in thought, okay? So I don't want to just dream about my dream life. I want to live my dream life. I want to experience my dream life now. I don't want to, wait on some promise when, I'm gone, or wait on some promise when I'm retired, because we know that that's not a reality for a lot of people. So many obstacles and challenges will fly right in your face when you're going after your goal. Always, always, something's gonna come up.
Sure will.
And no matter what, you have to be passionate about your goal and dream, because you may have to make some hard line choices and decisions that other folks will look at and say, oh, you just cold-hearted, you don't care. No, I do care. That's just it. I care about the dreams and goals that I have for my life. And right now, what you're talking about is a distraction, even though it may be something real to you. But guess what? Things are always going to happen. You know, it's amazing how people say that they have car problems, that, you know, they won't be able to make it to a training or a Tuesday presentation, but they find a way to go to work. They'll find a way to do what they want to do when they want to do it. I mean, that's pretty much human nature. So that tells me that they're not as committed or passionate about their business as they are about working for someone else, even though working for someone else isn't leading them down the path that they truly desire to be on. And again, it's wonderful, it's a blessing if you have a job, but understand what it is. It's just a tool. It's a seed in order to, you know, position you. You know, because if it was the harvest, then you would be set. You would have everything you need. Then if you have a desire, obviously it's not meeting that desire. So therefore, understand what it's really about, and that is positioning yourself. So be committed to your job, but also be committed to your business, because your job is creating wealth for someone else. Your business is designed to create wealth for you. Okay? So here are 5 time-tested methods that will help get the, you know, success you deserve. Know exactly what your goal is. Your first job is to discover exactly what your goal is. What will achieving that goal really look like? Be specific as possible. Exactly what your desired result is. Your success will be measured by your clarity, since an achievable goal plan cannot be created around a numerous dream. So you must be specific with your goal and your dream. Also put a date and time on it. And sometimes you may have to adjust that, but at least you put yourself in a time frame. So it's not just some nebulous thought, you know, that you're actually, you know, okay, I plan to have this by this date, and so therefore that means I must do X, Y, Z in order to be in position by this date. Okay, so then that way it gives you that schedule, you know, like Brother Paulie's book, Schedule for Success, you know, gives you that schedule, you know, that timeline. So it holds you accountable, you know, to produce and perform by a certain date. If your goal is to create a more successful business, what would that look like? Are you thinking in terms of simply hiring someone else to give you more free time? Are you looking for a very specific monthly profit? Or can your goal be best expressed in terms of a certain lifestyle? Regardless of what you want, the best way to get it is first clarify exactly what you want in as much detail as possible. Then this can be hard work, but without a clear mental picture, you will never have the focus required to achieve your goal. So in what Brother Paulie taught on this morning, if you want to increase in your business, he gave you an example. He gave you a roadmap in terms of meet 3 new people a day. Now, he didn't say go sign up 3 people a day. Just meet 3 people a day, because what that does is it increases your exposure and the, you know, opportunity for more people to come into your business. So the illustration was 3 people a day, 7 days a week. That's 21 people times 4 is 84 people a month that you're coming in contact with. And if you just sign up 2 or 3 people, that increases the odds of you being able to, you know, sign up new business partners. But if you're only talking to 1 or 2 people a week, Now do you see how your odds drop dramatically? And so by talking to 3 people a day increases your odds exponentially, because versus you talking to 5 or 6 people a month, now you're talking to 84 people a month. Okay, it's a numbers game. 2, be willing to pay the entry fee. Success takes dedicated planning and effort. In a way, it's like building a house. In the beginning, all you have is rough concept, then you develop a complete set of plans and immediately move closer to success. The same is true of creating a better lifestyle or a more successful business. But there's always an entry fee to be paid for success. What is our entry fee? It's not the $25. It's not the $150. You know, the entry fee is the desire. You got to have that desire to want more out of life. If you meet a person that doesn't have a desire, then they're not going to be willing to do any work. Create more success in your business may mean less recreational time. Writing your own book may require less TV. Being closer to your children may require adjusting your work or social activities. It's the full glass deal. If your life, your time is already full to the top, there's no more room for something new. The entry fee is carving out the time to create that something new. You know, I don't care how busy somebody says they are. They have time. It's just a matter of them putting a priority on what it is that you're talking about versus what they want to do. I mean, because everybody has time to, you know, find time to watch TV, talk on the phone. Well, why not use their time to build a business? Because we're not talking about, you know, going. You can just use a cell phone to talk to somebody, get them on a conference call so that they can hear the business, you know, presentation. So if they tell you they don't have time to come to a Tuesday meeting, well, we have other means for them to get exposed to the information. So it's just a matter of, you know, actually seeing it as important. So focus on your goal every day. Not that you have to physically, but focus on it. Think about it. I'm sure you probably want to achieve your goal as fast as possible. That's why clear mental focus is so very important. Consistent daily focus is absolutely necessary to burn in the new neural pathways you need to create your new goal. Without daily focus, the old mental habits that have kept you from your goal will continue to take over. You know, the word God said you can't put new wine in old wineskin. You know, we have to renew our thought processes. You know, we have to, you know, create a new pattern of thinking. You know, so therefore, it's a matter of focusing on your business. You may, you know, not be working the business, but you're thinking about your business. You're thinking about how, you know, who you can contact. You know, work on your lips. You know, you're listening to conversations that you're walking through, you know, wherever you're at. You know, you're hearing people talk about, man, I wish I was in a position to do this. You know, and you're focusing on it and you're tuning into it because you're conscious about your business. So when you're thinking about your business, then it begins to, your ears perk up. So when you're hearing conversations about, you know, I can't afford this, or, you know, I wish I could, you know, purchase a car or a home, or, you know, I'm tired of my job, I want to start my own business. You know, these are, you know, buzzwords, you know, for you to be able to strike up a conversation about your business. But if you're not focused on your business, they just become conversation, everyday conversation. You know, so just be more in tune to opportunities to share about, you know, our opportunities with people you come in contact with. This happens automatically. So going back to that point, because a lot of people think that they gotta, you know, shift. No, it's a matter of, you know, no matter where you go, your business goes with you. So it's not a matter you got to turn the switch. Like now I got to start talking about my J&G business. No, these are things that people are talking about already. It's just a matter of you using that as an opportunity to give them a card or get their information and give them a call, you know, to expose them to the information and the opportunity. But you don't have to go out there and create the conversation, because people are talking about these things. I mean, before you became involved, weren't you talking about it with other people? So it's a natural thing. So this happens automatically since these, old habits replay 24/7 deep in your subconscious mind. The only way to override subconscious anti-success messages is to consistently or consciously focus on what you do want and build your new neural networks. That's why success is an everyday event. Recommit to your goal every day. Don't let your goal take a backseat to the daily tasks and distractions. That will try to take over. Life will try to get in your way. Just get and stay on course every day. Focus on your goal and on your success. Period. Because again, life is going to happen. Things are going to come up. But you got to be focused. Number 4, get passionate. One of the most powerful tools in your success toolbox is having real passion for your goal. Why passion? Because intense passion and desire for your goal will help you burn in those new neural pathways even faster. Many scientific studies have shown that intense emotion passion is a key success tool. When you're passionate about something, you commit to it, and all hell could be breaking loose around you. Somebody's not passionate about something may begin to focus on all of the hell that's breaking loose. I can use the illustration from the Bible when, Peter walked on water. So long as he stayed focused on Jesus, he was able to walk on water. The moment he was distracted by the wind and the wave, he began to sink. So if you're passionate about something versus somebody else not being passionate about, they may begin to notice what's going on. You so focused, you can't pay attention to that. See, once you're passionate, you locked into something, it doesn't matter what's going on around you. You just focus and narrow in on the goal and the vision. That's why you have to be excited about it, passionate. Plus, and this is really a big plus, intense passion will also help you rapidly override any inappropriate old failure messages stored in your subconscious mind. 5, take consistent action. In many ways, actually taking action can be the most difficult step. Successful goal achievement is built by taking one small action after another. Every day, when you're conscious about what it is you're working for, every day, do something. Every day. Pick up the phone. Get 3 new names. Do something every day consciously towards your goal. Because then it begins to become a pattern. You're conscious, you're goal conscious. So I tell the guys that, come to the program, have a goal for yourself. Have a life plan. So that one day when you're standing on the corner and you don't know which way to go because you don't have no plan, you got some homies roll up on you and they, about to go do some dirt and they say, get in the car. You say, nah, that ain't part of my plan because you have something that you're thinking on, something that you focus on. But if you ain't got no plan, whatever they talk about sounds better than what you're doing. So then you'll be more inclined to get in the car with them. So always have a plan for yourself. Have that goal. The word is action. If you commit to take at least one small action each day, your actions will add up and make a difference. So avoid sitting back waiting for that big second when everything will magically just happen. When people say, well, I'm waiting for this to get in place, they're always waiting for something to line up. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, things don't line up because life is constantly happening. It's a matter of making a decision, making a commitment, and saying, okay, I'm going to do this now. It's a lot of times it's just a matter of making up your mind and having that desire. Then once you have that commitment, that desire, and that made up mind and heart, all of a sudden things begin to come together. Like I said, in terms of when you focus on it, then same things may be occurring around you, but they're no longer so loud, so amplified in your thoughts. But now you can begin to focus and, narrow in on what it is that you want to accomplish and do versus all of a sudden, you got all these things that, are priority that need your attention. Again, they're going to happen. But once you begin to narrow in and focus, then some of that stuff begins to quiet down. You can create whatever you want in your life. The secret is to determine exactly what you want, then pursue it passionately. But remember, in the end, only action counts. You can't just dream about it. You have to do it. I'm big on that. I just don't want to dream about the life I want to live. I want to live it. I wanted that dream to be a reality. So sometimes you just be so tunnel vision, that you seem heartless and cold. But at the end of the day, this is one life we have to live. I don't want to leave here with any regrets of not doing, especially when you know that you have the ability to do. So I don't want to have regrets and talk about what I could have, should have. No, it's a matter of, no, let's go ahead and do it now while we still can, so that we can enjoy it. Because it's not just about us. When you make a decision to do something, it's going to involve other people. Your family, your friends, the business we're talking about here through JMG. The only way that we become successful is through helping other people become successful. So it's not just about you, but it's about other people that you can help along the way. That whoa moment, windows of opportunity. Recognize your whoa moment. How many have you allowed to pass you by and why? We use our memory and conditioning to see, not our vision. When using our memory, we don't see what is, but what was. Leaders lead. Your job is to move your people from fear to freedom and from failure to faith. Lead by example. Dare to dream. Ask yourself these 6 questions. What do I want to be? What do I want to do? What do I want to give? What do I want to have? How do I want to spend my time? With whom do I want to spend my time with? Again, I'm big on dreaming, but I'm also big on living the dream. But if you don't have a dream, what are you going to use to motivate you? You gotta have that picture in your mind. What that life looks like. What does it feel like? Where would you go? What would you do? Who would you do it with? Then be ready to do the work. Take the action to make it a reality. While y'all writing, I tried on these pants this morning, right? These pair of pants I ain't put on for years. But I've been working out with Sean T, doing the hip hop ad, right? And I'm starting to slim down some, right? Wore them pants, and I said, oh, just a couple more weeks. I'll be able to get back in them. But it feels good, And it had to start with the ideal of my mind and how I wanted to see myself. And then, because I've started workouts before and then didn't follow through, but, something different this time. I can actually see it, I can feel it, I want it. It seems more real to me, so I'm more committed to it. And it feels good. Some people see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not? George Shaw. Never put a limitation on your dreams. Never put a limitations on your dreams. A lot of people just try to dumb down their dreams based upon their temporary situation. Never look at your temporary situation and make a life-changing or a lifelong determination of, well, this is where I'm always going to be, or, this won't work for me, or why should I even, dream about living in that kind of home? No, I just say that, be willing to do some work. As long as you got breath in your body, God is able to move. But you have to make yourself available. You have to position yourself by doing the work. It just ain't gonna fall out the sky. Got it? You still type. Look, if you have one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted in one moment, would you capture it or let it slip you by? You know, that's from Eminem. Because we all have that moment of decision when you have to make a choice. You know, you made a choice, you made a decision to become a part of this company. Mm-hmm. Now, what motivated you to make that decision? What motivates you to come out here on Saturdays? What motivates you to go to Tuesdays and get on the conference call? Because you see the potential, the opportunity to build a successful business. True? Mm-hmm. Now, anything other than that is, like Brother Paulie says, is confusion. Be consistent with your actions. Don't allow, the reality of what's going on to define the potential of why you signed up to become part of this company. If you signed up so that you can build a successful business that you believe will be able to change your life for the rest of your life, that's all you focus on. Anything else is nothing but a distraction. Whether you had guests cancel on you, whether they didn't show up for the Tuesday presentation, whether you got reps that fell off, whatever is nothing but a distraction. Stay focused on the reason why you signed up. Be consistent with your actions. Meaning, go out there and talk to new people. Constantly be building your business because it is your business. So treat it as such. And then, as you go through the process, you'll begin to see and experience some growth and some change in your business. But the moment that you begin to get distracted and listen to, all those naysayers and get distracted with all of the things that's going on that's not productive and not about building your business, then you become counterproductive. Then you get sluggish. You get weary. You begin to, I'm not going to go to Tuesday meeting because I don't have no guests. Mm-hmm. Or last week, my guests said they were going to show up and they didn't, so I'm not even going to go out there this week. When you begin to do that, you mess up your momentum. Mm-hmm. You mess up your spirit. So then when you're talking to people and you're talking to them about something that is real, they don't even hear the realness of the opportunity. Only thing that they're feeling and receiving is your doubt. Whether you say it with your words or your actions of excitement and your passion that comes out of you when you talk about your business. Am I stepping on some toes this morning? But again, it has to, Marquise used to always say, when JMG gets in you, rather than you being in JMG, is when your business will grow. Meaning that it's not a matter of you just being in the business. It's a matter of the business being in you. So that, as I was describing earlier, everywhere you go, there is your business as well. Because you don't have to create these conversations with people. These are things that people are concerned about every day. That's why we say we have a product that is relevant, because these are things that people are concerned about and do on a daily basis. So you don't have to convince anybody to do anything different. They're already doing. We're just saying, well, since you're already doing this, doesn't it make sense to become part of our system that now pays you to do what you're already going to do anyways? So it's really not convincing. So that would just let you know where their mind is. Well, no, I'd rather pay full price. I don't want to get none of my money back. Well, you're not what we're looking for. Right. So let me keep it moving. But it gives you a different posture. See, you're not desperate to sign up just everybody. You're selecting the right people that are actually going to help you build. So therefore, it puts you in a different posture where now they feel like they want to become part of whatever you're doing, rather than they feel like, oh, you must need me. No. When you talk to somebody, they need to come away with the feeling like, I need them, rather than you need them. Okay? So what is your goal? I want you guys to, this weekend, to begin to implement that strategy of 3 a day. Talk to 3 new people. I'm glad to see that Sister Sharon had brought out a, guest Tuesday, and sounds as though they're going to sign up, but I know that was her stepping outside of her comfort zone. And it worked, it came out. That's all we can ask, is that people come out and get exposed to the information. Other than that, we just keep inviting, because like Brother Paulie said, it's a numbers game. So go out there and increase your potential, your opportunity, by increasing the number of people that you're exposed to. And it's not a matter of just signing them up. I believe that you subscribe like it was a game. Just getting your 3. It's not, you don't even care if they sign up for the business. You just want to get 3 names and numbers. Because when you're in sales, and you understand it's a numbers game, you just want to run through the numbers. That's all you want to do, is run through the numbers. Some will, some won't. So what next? It's just a matter of going through the numbers. Okay? And so this Tuesday, make sure I get there early. It was like 5 minutes to. It was like only 2 of us in the room. Y'all make sure y'all get there. And we had a nice turnout. We had a great turnout. But make sure you plan accordingly to get there early. Not that you're late if you're on time. Okay? You get there at 7, you're actually late. So get there about 10 minutes early, so that you can network and introduce your guests to the other reps, and, so that they feel more comfortable. So let's pack the house this Tuesday. Next Saturday is Rondo Days. So I do have the booth out there. I got my order of meat in. So we're gonna, I thought about this. I'm gonna have a sign-in sheet. So they get samples. I want them to write their name, their contact information, so we can follow up with some calls. So make sure you bring your brochures and your cards out there. So we'll probably just play some stuff and you can walk around the crowd and give people some samples of the meat, and make some contacts that way. Okay? So that's gonna be next Saturday. I got to be there, I think, by 9 o'clock. But
we still gonna have a meeting next Saturday? If we're gonna be at Rondo Day?
What time does Rondo Day start?
I think it starts like at 10.
That's at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
We'll cancel the training and let everybody go there. As long as y'all really want to go there.
Yeah, we going there. I want some business. I need some more people.
I hear that on the prior thing too now, y'all. Come on, y'all supposed to clown that. I did my part.
You did your part.
He gonna hit you some history.
I just want to win.
So
We
next
got
Saturday,
some
we
cards,
have
we
the
made some
training.
contact, but we didn't get no name.
But make sure that you come out to the Rondo Days, okay?
What time we need to be there?
I would say by 10, 10:30 at the latest.
The parade starts at 10 o'clock. We're going to be before 10 because once the parade starts, then I'll block stuff up to be part of it.
So we know what area, are we on the street with the other vendors, or are we in the little walk around?
Probably walk around, because that's where they were last year.
Yeah, it's a new location.
Oh, is it?
Or is the new location?
He'll get it to you by Tuesday.
Yeah, so make sure you have to meet Tuesday. I give you the exact location, okay, where it's at. But again, so I got a lot of steaks, and I paid $500 for the booth. But this is, I was gonna sell the food, but I don't feel like working that hard to sell nothing. So we just gonna have fun with it. Get the food out, let people sample, the Bodywork premium steaks. Give you an opportunity to network with some people. So make sure you come out and, let's have fun and have a great time. Okay?
All right.
All right.
You there?